Okay, so first I want to ask you how you're feeling. Have you gotten enough sleep?
Yes, I have gotten enough sleep.
Okay, and are you comfortable?
I'm always very comfortable.
Okay, all right. And how about your hunger? Are you hungry or are you?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, great. Okay, we're going to begin the session now. And how have you been feeling since the last session?
I feel like I'm growing. I feel like I'm healing exponentially in ways I just never thought.
Okay. Do you know what you want to work on today?
Yeah, I think I'd like to work on this crying, not not crying incident that occurred in my childhood.
Okay,
Being told not to cry.
okay. And when did this happen?
I was probably around 12 to 13 years of age.
Okay. And where did it happen?
It was at my mother's home in Miami Shores El Hotel. It was the prison.
Okay. How long does the incident last?
Relatively, probably about 10 minutes, but the summation of it, probably less.
Okay. So go to the start of the incident and tell me when you're there.
I'm there.
Okay, and what are you aware of?
I'm in my mother's living room. My brother is beating the shit out of me, physically just tormenting me left and right.
Okay. So now you're going to go through to the end of the incident.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
My brother Danny was picking a fight with me in my mother's all white living room. White couches, big white fireplace. And I don't know, he just, I guess, needed to feel like he needed to take anger out of me. I don't remember exactly why it happened, but he's beating the hell out of me. I'm crying. I'm just crying. And my mother comes out of her bedroom. Shut your fucking whiny mouth, you crybaby. And I look up at her and I said, what the hell do you want me to do? Or I said, what the fuck do you want me to do? He's beating the shit out of me. And she goes, get in your room. And so I get up and I walk past her, and as I'm walking past her, she just smacks me on the shoulder. And I just turned and looked at her and I said, bitch, if you ever hit me again, I'm moving to Dad's. And you could just see her face just like drop. Her face was like, oh wow. And I think all in all, I just disassociated even more greatly there. I think I just totally shut down. That's probably when I started to plan killing my mother. And she passed away when I was 18 with emphysema, so I never followed her. Thank God. That's pretty much it. I've met him with Christ.
Okay. Go back to the beginning and tell me when you're there.
more.
Okay, now go through to the end of the incident. Okay. Tell me what happened.
I'm in my mother's living room. It's all white. It's a place where you're not allowed to just sit. And I guess I'm passing through, and my older brother, who's 2 to 3 years older than me, just starts beating me up. And I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm crying. My mother comes out of her bedroom and screaming, "Shut your fucking lying mouth, you crybaby. I'm tired of listening to you cry." And I just remember looking up at her and saying, "What the fuck do you want me to do? He's beating the shit out of me. What do you really want? What do you want me to do? You don't fucking get it." And she goes, "Get in your room." And as I pass her, she smacks me on the shoulder. And it's the first time that I can ever remember my mother laying her hand on me. And I just turned to her and I looked at her and I said, "Bitch, if you ever hit me again, I'm moving to Dad's." And she could just see this dread. You could see some dread just fall over her face, like, wow. And I truly feel like I disassociated at that moment in those relationships. And I completely realized that this person wasn't someone I could trust, someone that's going to be the authority figure and stabilize the situation. She just made it worse. And I've never ever been able to really just cry from that moment. I've had a lot of problems with crying. I would say I pretty much started to plan her death from that moment on. I just was so enraged internally that I just shut down, and I ended up moving to my father's, I guess, shortly after that. She ended up dying when I was 18, but I just never really had that, I don't know, a healthy, loving relationship with her. I just had a thought, and I don't know why this is coming through, but it is for some reason. Maybe my brother had just been sexually abused by her. And I don't want to create any drama, but I got this feeling like, well, maybe he was just taking out his frustration on me because of what may have just happened to him. I don't know. But something just said that to me. I don't know. Who knows? That's pretty much it.
Okay. Go back to the beginning and tell me when you're there. Okay. Go through the incident until you reach the end. Okay, tell me what happened.
I just remember being pulverized by my brother, just and we're in my mother's living room, which is like an off-premises place to be. My brother Danny is just beating the fucking shit out of me, and I'm wailing, and I'm crying, and I'm crying. I'm crying, I'm crying. And my mother comes out of her room, and she starts screaming at me. Like I had brought it all upon me. Shut the fuck up, you crybaby. I'm tired of listening to you cry. And I just remember, I really remember looking up and just looking her in the eye and saying, what the fuck do you want me to do? He's beating the shit out of me. And she says, get in your room. And as I cross her path to go into my room, she smacks me on the shoulder. And it's the first time she's ever hit me. And I just turn around and I look at her and I say, bitch, if you ever fucking hit me again, I'm moving to Dad's. And there's just this look on her face that she doesn't know what to do. I truly believe that is where I disassociated even more in my childhood. I think I just realized that there was nobody else to trust or to feel safe with. I really feel that that's where I shut down emotionally. And that's where murderous, homicidal thoughts really started to take hold. And why wouldn't anybody protect me? Why wouldn't anybody care enough about me to say, hey, Danny, stop beating on your brother? Are you okay, Paul? Give me a hug. I'm sorry your brother did that to you. No, shut the fuck up. I completely disassociate. It's the only word I know to use to understand. I went into a very dark place in my mind at that point. Moved on to my dad's house a while after that, and my mother passed away when I was 18. I never had any closure with her about any of our lives together. And I had this thought, as I was sharing this last time, like, maybe my brother Danny was taking out his rage and anger on me because maybe she just got done taking rage and anger out on him. Maybe in a sexual form, I don't know. In my family, it's a good probability. There's a lot of fucking complete and utter dysfunction when it came to inappropriate touching or sexual abuse. I hope it wasn't that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me. Not only do I feel like crying for my little boy, my little Paul, I'm crying for my brother's little Dan. He was just as abused as I was, if not worse. He has since made amends to me about everything that he's ever done to me. I think the wounds just go too deep for us to be able to hang out with each other or be around each other. Just so much sadness. All right.
Okay. Go back to the beginning and tell me when you're there.
Okay.
Okay. Go through the incident to the end.
All right.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
Just walking through my mother's living room. It was my mother's living room. It wasn't our living room. It was her living room. It was all white. White couches, white fireplace. And my brother just starts beating on me. I don't understand. He's just beating the shit out of me. I don't know. I wish I could understand how it all started, but there was just no recollection of that. And he's just fucking wailing on me, and I'm just freaking out. What the fuck? You know? Crying. Here I am, this little boy who's just wanting to be left alone. Just leave me the fuck alone. And then my mother comes out of her bedroom and starts screaming at me, "Shut your fucking whining mouth. I'm tired of listening to you cry, you fucking crybaby." All I can do is look up at her from the beating I'm taking and saying, "What do you want me to fucking do? He's beating the shit out of me." And she says, "Go get near her." And so I get up to pass her. And she fucking smacks me on the shoulder. I just remember turning around and pointing my finger at her and saying, "Bitch, if you ever fucking hit me again, I'm moving to Dad's." And just this face, this look of dread came over her. And I really think that's when I started to plan her murder. I was gonna kill the fucking bitch. I ended up moving on to my dad's house a little while after that, I guess. She ended up passing away in Memphis when I was 18. She raised all 11 of us children to adulthood. Her insanity robbed me of so much of my own truth. Her inability to control her own feelings and emotions just washed over all of us as if we didn't even matter. I'm just amazed that I can feel this stuff today. I'm just amazed that I am present to it. I'm just amazed that the little boy inside of me can cry. There are some days when I just want my mommy to hold me. And I guess that day came and went that day that she smacked me on the shoulder. It'll be what it'll be. It is what it is. That's it.
Okay. How does the incident feel to you now? Is it getting lighter, heavier, or the same?
It's getting lighter. It just feels like that little boy is finally being able to cry. And take his own power back, his own truth.
Okay. Go back to the beginning and tell me when you're ready. Okay. Go through the incident till you reach the end. Okay, tell me what happened.
I think it's wonderful that your living room is all white because it helps me recollect. I'm walking through my mother's living room. I don't know, maybe onto my bedroom or something, I don't know. My brother's just beating the shit out of me out of nowhere. He just starts beating the shit out of me. Why? I have no idea. And I'm crying, and wailing. And here, my mother comes out of her bedroom, tells me to shut the fuck up, you whining little baby. I'm tired of listening to you whine. What do you want me to do? I look up to her. What do you want me to do? He's beating the fucking shit out of me. Those have to be my exact words. What the fuck do you want me to do? He's beating the shit out of me. She goes, get in here, right? I walk past her and she just smacks me. It wasn't really hard, but it was a smack. I said, listen, bitch, if you ever touch me again, I'm moving to Dad's. And her face just dropped. She was just like, I guess she didn't expect me to call her a bitch. I really feel like that's when I was taking back the power. Maybe my balls were descending out of my testicles. Maybe I was really becoming a man at that moment. And from that moment on, all I could do is think about killing her. That's how fucking sick her insanity had permeated into my life and my sickness. I moved on shortly after that to my dad's house, and she died when I was 18. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. I don't know if anything happened between her and my brother just prior to my brother starting that fight with me. Maybe she had pissed him off somehow or some way, and he was just deflecting it upon me. I don't know if he was being sexually abused by her or not. It's a good probability, though. And I really felt my mother's spirit carry me to a softer landing in a car crash I had 5 years ago, and there was this overwhelming sense of forgiveness for her. And now, knowing what I know about her childhood and what happened to her, I can understand why she behaved the way she behaved. And I have a lot of compassion for her too. A lot of forgiveness for her too. I just don't know why it all has to be so fucking traumatic. Dramatic, overwhelming to the soul. My soul felt like it was about to snap. I swear to God, I thought it was gonna snap. I really thought I was just gonna fucking... I'm really surprised that I didn't just pick up something and whack her over the head with it right then and there. That's the real hard, cold truth of it all. I just wanted to fucking kill her. She didn't give a shit about me. She didn't give a fuck. She didn't care whether my brother was beating the shit out of me. All she cared about was herself. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Go back to the beginning and tell me when you're there.
Okay.
Okay. Go through the incident to the end.
just walking through my mother's living room. I think it's so funny. I just called my mother's living room again and again and again and again and again. This is not my home, it's her home. And my brother just starts beating the shit out of me. I don't know why. And he starts terrorizing me with his fists. And I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm crying. And wailing. And then my mother comes out from around the corner out of the bedroom and goes, "Shut your fucking lying mouth. I'm tired of listening to you cry, you cry baby." And all I can remember is just really looking into her eyes, into her soul, and saying, "What the fuck do you want me to do? He's beating the shit out of me." And she said, "Get in your room." So I have to get up and walk past her. And she smacks me on the shoulder. I didn't see it coming. I just turned around and said, "Bitch, if you ever fucking hit me again, I'm moving to Dad's." And I truly think this is another point of disassociation in my soul, in my mind. I just shut down. And I went into a very dark place. I started killing her in my head. I started wanting her to kill her. I don't know if I would necessarily wanted to kill her, but I think I just wanted to choke the living shit out of her. And I ended up moving on to my dad's house, I guess, shortly after that. And she passed away when I was 18, so. Just so much violence, so much violence, so much violence. I'm so glad I've learned, to the best of my ability today, to detach with love from them. I really do love my siblings. I just know that I can't be around them. I cannot be around them because they trigger me. Just as I guess I triggered my mother that morning. Just as maybe my presence triggered my brother, I don't know. Maybe my mother had just done something to him and he was just deflecting it off on me. Maybe she had harmed him physically or sexually, the fuck knows. Maybe she had just cussed him out, I don't know. I definitely got my mouth from my mother. She had no problem using that F word. See how gentle I'm being with the F word? I love saying the word fuck too for some reason, I don't know. Probably because it makes me feel connected to her in some insane psychological way. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I am a product of my environment. But I've grown up a lot. I've grown up a lot. I owe a lot of it to ACA. I owe a lot of it to adult Paul. Little Paul, it's really, really starting to come through. All he wants to do is be be held when he cries. He just wants to know that it's okay to cry. He wants to know that it's safe to cry. And I tell him a lot that it's okay. It's okay to cry. Just before I come in here, I was laying in bed with my 2 little puppy dogs. Rocky, the big boxer, he's laying over here. My little Savannah, she's just so fucking precious. She just put her paw on me and just feeling so safe and loved. And I can tell her that she has never have to worry about anything. Her or Rocky has to ever worry about anything. I never got any of that. Nobody ever said it's safe here, Paul. Nobody ever said that you're going to be provided for. I had to beg to be fed. I had to beg to go grocery shopping. It wasn't a money problem, it was just fucking laziness. But for the grace of God, there go I. I think that's enough. I don't know if we should do it again.
Go back to the beginning. Tell me when you're there. Okay? Go through the incident to the end. Okay? Tell me what happened.
I'm just walking, minding my own business, going through my mother's living room. And for some reason, my brother Dan just starts beating me up. Talk about complete confusion. I don't even know why. Can't even remember why. But I'm whining, I'm crying, and my mother comes out of her bedroom, just starts screaming at me, "Shut your fucking mouth, you crying baby. I'm tired of listening to you whine." And somehow, I looked up at her and our eyes met, and I just said, "Bitch, what do you want?" I didn't say bitch. I said, "What the fuck do you want me to do?" He's beating the shit out of me. It's like I'm pleading. I'm pleading my side of the story. Like I'm on trial or something. He's older than me. You'd think that she'd be authoritative enough to say, "Break it up." Instead, she tells me to go to my room and she smacks me on the shoulder. Smack. And I just remember looking up at her again, making eye contact and saying, "Bitch, if you ever fucking hit me again, I'm moving your dad's." It's just this state of fright, I think, is more what came over her face than dread. Maybe that is fright, I don't know. But I think she knew that her days were numbered. Because all I could do is think of killing her from that moment on. I was such enraged, and I wasn't allowed to express my feelings of hurt or pain. My brother's beating, my brother is fucking punching my face, my skin. He's causing muscular reactions to shoot to the brain that there's danger, Will Robinson. And here this woman is not giving a fuck about me. All she can think about is herself. She is the narcissist of narcissists. But I do understand today that she was also just in survival mode. Little Paul had just had enough. If this bitch ain't gonna protect me, then I'll just take her out. I'm so glad that I'm aware of these things and I'm able to feel the feelings behind it. It just really is amazing how far I've come in my recovery. I've gone from being panic and anxiety-ridden being that had tremendous homicidal and suicidal thoughts towards his family, myself, to someone that's actually being able to feel this stuff, to talk about it, and give little Paul, that little boy that has been scared since his childhood, a voice. And allow him to feel safe enough and trusting enough for him to share and process this stuff finally. It's taken 25 years of therapies. Thank you.
How does the incident seem to you now? Is it lighter, heavier, or the same?
Much lighter. I feel like I could sleep now 1,000 years.
Okay.
I think that this TIR, the unblocking therapy, has helped me immensely.
Have you come to any conclusions from doing this process on this event?
Yeah, I think the conclusion is that adult Paul has become mature enough to not run from the feeling or the emotion that may be coming up because of a trigger or whatnot. And I can feel it and process it and cry it out and allow my body, mind, and spirit to heal. And I just feel little Paul inside me jumping up and down. And I hope to one day really integrate him into the adult Paul so I can finally just be that person God created me to be. I'm just amazed. I really am just amazed. You have no idea. It's a miracle. It's
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Is there anything you want to add before we end the session?
Just want to say thank you, Karen. As I've said before, I wanted to be in your process of growing because it just felt like it would be the right thing to help you out in your studies and whatnot. And here I'm receiving the greatest benefit. Who would have thought? So amazing is that I'm just willing to go to any lengths to heal. And if it means being of service to somebody else, who's to say what might come out of it for me? And that's what little Paul just really, really, really can't believe that I've stopped running. I don't have to run from anybody anymore. I don't have to run from myself. I just watched a movie recently called Flashbacks of the Past or something. I think I can't remember the correct title, but there was a saying and it said, courage is not about running or moving forward. It's about standing still. And that's what all this has been about, is just standing still. I could go on and on.
Okay, we'll end the session there.